Hello, everybody. This is Jason. Just wanted to give a little programming note before this episode. This is a completely bonus and spontaneous episode. I was chatting with Shawn Bristol slash Shawn Patterson, same person, of the solo Facebook guild, and we just decided, wow, this conversation is really fun. Let's record it. But this conversation happened before all of that brouhaha happened about the One Deck Dungeon and the Kickstarter and the European people feeling kind of left out of that. So a lot of angry posts, butthurt feelings, and exactly the thing that we talked about on this conversation that did not happen before this. So a little awkward to post this episode, but I really feel like I wanted to post it anyway, just to kind of remind myself, remind people listening that this is what the Facebook is. It's awesome. We get along great. It's a great community. Despite what happened with the ODD. So I hope that you enjoy some of the insights here. I hope that we can kind of get back to just having fun, posting about games, posting about spending too much money. So just wanted to give that disclaimer ahead of time. Thank you. Yo, my people, what's up? This is Jason, and we just had a very spontaneous opportunity come up for a conversation, and I'm always looking to have good conversations, as you all know. I have with me on the other line Mr. Shawn Patterson. You know him better as Shawn Bristol, the admin who is responsible for all that gaming goodness that is the solo Facebook group on solo board games. So, Shawn, say hi to peoples.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so we were talking. We first started talking. I reached out to you because I wanted to do a little bit of a special project. So we'll get to the special project in a second, but we started to get into talking about the board game group, talking about how it got started, and all that stuff. So I figured let's just wind it back, let's record it, and let the people know, all 3,000 people who are in the solo board gamers group. Which is a ton of people, how this got started and how it works and all that kind of stuff. I figured it'd be really interesting.
All right. Just want to point out we're now over 5K.
Oh, I misplaced the decimal. 5K. Holy goodness. Okay, so let's talk about the Facebook group. So you told me a little bit a story about you and a friend getting together and starting this group. When did that happen?
That was about just about a year ago. Just one of the guys on the board game group, Facebook group, that we were just talking one day, and he mentioned that it'd be cool for a solo group. I just was kind of surprised that hadn't existed yet. There might have been a solo board gamer group, but not a just general solo board game group. So I just went ahead and made it. Took a while to get some traction, but man. And the requests have been pouring in. Let me tell you.
Are you a solo gamer yourself?
I am.
How long?
I haven't gotten a lot of time to do that lately, but yeah, I mean, it can be hard considering I have my kid every single weekend, and he's not really indoctrinated yet. So I don't get a lot of time for gaming outside of my Thursday regular meetups. So sometimes I just really want a game, and my fiance, author, doesn't necessarily always have time to accommodate that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the solo gaming. It's just, I mean, really, honestly, if you talk to people in the group, that's the way a lot of people are. I mean, we do have some hardcore introverts and things like that, but a lot of people, they just don't have anybody to game with, or they just don't get enough opportunities to game anyway. So this fits the bill.
Cool, man. So that whole thing, we've done a bunch of posts about this. I think it really hammers it home. It's not like solo gamers hate people. It's just we love games. Right? We love games so much that we just got to lay them on the table no matter who's around.
I couldn't agree more.
Excellent. All right. So it's a year ago, and you and your buddy are just okay, there's no solo board gamer group on Facebook. And you went ahead and you made one.
It's been interesting to see myself create this thing and then the community just eventually, it took a while, but eventually just blew up. I mean, I'd have to guess that we're one of the fastest growing board gaming groups in Facebook. But yeah, it's become a whole big thing that, I mean, I just can't imagine like all of the different conversations that I now don't get to see notifications for all day, every day, like I did in the beginning. So it's just kind of, the community's definitely made it their own.
And you were saying before, like one of the reasons you did blow up was you guys must have hit a threshold where you started showing up as a recommended group or something like that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for the first several months, requests came in very slowly, but I'd say probably around the time we hit 3,000 or 4,000, it just stuff really started to pour in. And I asked, I mean, because I'm trying to filter out some of the spam bots and whatnot, a lot of times if a request looks a little sketchy, I'll just message them, hey, what's your favorite board game? What's your favorite solo board game? Just see if anybody even responds. Because if it's a spam bot, they're likely never to say anything to me.
What are the telltale signs of a spam bot? Is it like from Nigeria with love, or?
Well, typically, I think if it's a sketchy account, they're not really just interested in talking about solo board games, you're probably never going to get a reply. Sometimes you'll check the requests later, and the accounts aren't there anymore. Like you can't even click on the name anymore. It'll just give you an error message. Or they'll say something random like, hey, what's your favorite solo board game? And this one lady said, LOL. Like, I didn't know this was Showtime at the Apollo. I mean, I wasn't telling jokes. Like, I wanted to know why you're sending this request. So I knew that wasn't legit. But yeah, I haven't seen anything official as far as like Facebook algorithms or anything like that. But some people tend to think that you start showing up as suggested groups at a certain threshold or something. But a lot of people did say when I would ask them, not the spam bots, but the actual legit people would say, yeah, I just started showing up as a suggested group. So I said, okay. It's like, okay. But yeah, they're really pouring in now. I'm going to have to.
How many do you get a day?
Oh, man.
Like a week, or, I don't know if you have a metric for that.
It's really hard to guess that. Even if I were to keep on top of them, I don't know that I can actually go back and look to see what I approved that particular day or that week or anything like that. But even then, it's kind of getting out of control. For instance, I've got the group pulled up right now, and it says 288 people want to join this group.
Oh.
I don't think there's that many requests, but just a few days ago, before I kind of let things slide over the weekend and just pile up, there might have been like 20, 50. I don't know how accurate this number is. I'm a little skeptical that it's correct, but that's a lot. I mean, a lot of them have been there for a while that I just haven't gotten around to making sure they're not spam bots, but they definitely have some red flags. So, yeah. So
the people who just joined like a week ago or something like that, you should thank your lucky stars that Shawn finally got around, because it's hard to kind of weed through all that. Actually, okay. So the group is like, really growing, really like kind of banging. What do we need now? Like, what is the group? Like you were saying before, like you might need a little bit of help or assistance.
Oh, absolutely. I really need some help with the friend requests. So I'm probably going to post and ask for admins or mods to help me out. Maybe just a couple. Just a couple would be enough to get some of the friend requests under control.
You're going to get 288 requests for this.
Oh, God. To be, I know we talked about not everybody's an introvert in this group, but I'm not sure that I have a rapport with 288 people in this group. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's really just, it's become its own community, I'm still fairly active in it, even if I haven't been gaming solo a lot lately. But still, there are just countless posts that I don't even see anymore, that I'm not involved in. It was different, when your group's small, it just by default will send you a notification anyone posts anything in it. And I left that on because it wasn't a big deal. Eventually, stuff just started just popping up that I was never aware of. I probably don't even see 5% of the posts in this thing.
So at this point, the group is 5K large. Mm-hmm. Is there a maximum that a Facebook group can be, or is it just going to keep on blowing up and blowing up?
That's an excellent question. I do not have an answer for it. But
whenever we hit that maximum, we'll find out.
We will. I couldn't imagine that we'd hit it. And even if we did, we would know about it well before then, because other groups like the BGG Facebook group, last time I left that group. That's a conversation for a different day. But last time I checked,
it could be a conversation for today. You could give us the short version.
The short version is, I felt like a lot of a higher percentage than really what should be there in the BGG Facebook group really represented the worst in humanity. It just felt like a cesspool sometimes. You're going to get your trolls and whatnot on anything resembling an online forum, anything with a comment section. But man, people would mock, women that got harassed in the gaming community and stuff, and things that just were disgusting. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I left that group.
Which is really striking because we're at 5K members in this group. And I know that's a new thing, but I never, ever see that in this group. And if it even comes close to that, then I feel like the community kind of rises up and shuts it down, which is, I don't know, you don't have enough reach to kind of do it. I wonder if it's just kind of part of the solo gamer psyche, which would be an interesting study, that we're kind of maintaining this community on its own.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that the BGG Facebook group started out like that, but a lot of people that would, post things, like issues with the community, or kept being told that it's not relevant. A Facebook group for a board game community doesn't allow posts for talk about issues with the community. So I think a lot of those people left, and it also fostered, an environment for the toxic people that didn't feel any need to leave because they weren't being pushed out. It was the people that were addressing problems that were being pushed out. So I think that they are kind of cultivating a toxic environment now. But yeah, I'm not really sure about the solo game group. I, for one, if I saw any posts or comments or anything that along the lines of some of the stuff I've seen in other groups, I would shut it down really quick. Instead of do the opposite, which is shutting down, talk about our problems. Nobody grows that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we are different. I don't know.
And it's not just you. I've seen a lot of different people. The names aren't coming to mind now, but especially our group is very diverse. We have a lot of women in this group, and go into different sectors of the board gaming community. You go to cons or you go to, these different like Reddit or whatever it is, I feel like we have more women in this group, and we have a bigger variety of ages in this group, and like different diversity, those little check marks or whatever it is. Whatever. I know I don't want to come off as sounding like I'm like, oh well, solo gamers are the best gamers,
We
but
are.
the proof's in the pudding, people.
It is.
I mean, we're 5,000 strong. We're still treating each other really great. We're growing like at a crazy clip, and this has been a really awesome ride. So okay, so there's actually one thing I wanted to ask before we get to the kind of like what's gonna happen with this group moving forward. Do you see, like, can you track like how many of those 5,000 are actually active?
Facebook doesn't really give you a lot of tools.
Okay.
I mean, it's so different than like a forum where you might have more options like that. Because it's just so about the immediacy and being in the moment and all these other things. That's why there's not a focus on like pin posts and things like that and other tools that you would see in forums. So, I mean, I wish we could do more than one pin post. Oh my goodness.
Oh, really? There's only one pin post at a time?
There's only one. There's only one.
Oh, okay. That totally makes sense. Because like every time I post, so somebody will ask, and it's inevitable. Like it'll happen either every day or every other day. It's like, I need to suggest games. Suggest to me some games that I should buy. And every time I see that, I'll like, bam, top 100 solo games 2016. Certain things should be sticky. It's like, okay, a list of podcasts, right? So like, our podcast and Broken Meeple and Low Player Count and One Player Guild podcast, those are awesome resources. Top 100 solo games list, those are awesome resources. I didn't know, but now I know why that stuff isn't sticky. There's no room for it.
That's right. It's a good. I like that you brought that up, because there's another Facebook group for just general board gaming called Board Game Revolution. I don't know if you're in that one.
No.
But the guy that runs that one, Thomas, that's a thing that he was trying to do his group differently than some of those other ones, and try to kind of not weed out posts, but I mean, considering like we get so many posts in other groups of shelfies and the same conversations over and over, he actually did try to contain those things. Like, I mean, it didn't really work very well. I don't think the community was very supportive of that for whatever reason. But it didn't really work out. But yes, what he did was he tried to make one pin post and would just make recurring threads that he would hashtag, where you can make them searchable, even make it easier to search for them. So there'd be like a Kickstarter thing for May, and then you could just go to that thread when you search for like, hashtag Kickstarter in Facebook, and you can pull that up and on the page. It was an interesting idea, but I don't think a lot of people wanted to go into those threads and turn on notifications so they could see that kind of stuff. But it is something that could work if people were into it.
Right, and it's kind of a tricky balance, because you want to do more. Like there's tools and forums that, like you were saying before, you could sticky multiple things, you could highlight multiple things, put flags on things, and block certain IPs if you really need to kind of go there, which just aren't available in Facebook. But for whatever reason, the brew that Facebook has encouraged has been really positive, so you don't want to change anything. So it's kind of it's something to at least keep in mind.
But I mean, you do bring up a good point. Like, it can be exhausting sometimes when you're dealing with, repeated posts. there's a lot of fatigue that comes with that. A ton of fatigue when you see the same posts over and over. Yeah, I mean, Facebook is such a. It goes back to the amount of tools you really have. Considering it's so in the moment conversations. Yeah, there's not a lot of tools for dealing with that kind of stuff. But yeah, if they just gave us an option for a little bit more in the way of pinned or sticky posts, we can make this a whole lot more streamlined and get to a whole lot more unique conversations in our feeds than we are able to right now.
So I think just to kind of I definitely wanted to record this to give people a window into how the group actually works. I find that interesting. I'm wondering if a couple of the 5,000 people in the group would find it interesting as well. But the second part is to highlight for people how they can participate in the group so that it maintains that really cool atmosphere. The first thing is on a very practical level, Shawn needs help. It's only Shawn. It is Shawn versus 5,000 people and 288 ad requests. So we're going to put the call out. What we'll probably do is when Shawn posts, we'll put a link to this podcast, in it, and so people can hear it. So if you're interested, go ahead and ping Shawn. He's super, super cool. I was able to message him. He messaged me back pretty fast. So, there's no real barriers there. And the second thing is to really underscore for people that there are not a lot of tools to keep the community safe. The community is safe organically. The community is safe and diverse and awesome organically. So it is imperative. It's on us as people in the group that we need to keep it that way. We can't look to a mod. We can't look to and some sort of outside tool or outside presence in order to kind of keep things kind of copacetic, which is a lesson from the BGG group. I wasn't a part of it, but I can definitely imagine where that was. Of once that kind of gets in, there's not a lot of ways to kind of take that out. So we have to be pretty vigilant as a solo board gamers group to make sure that element just stays out and the group stays awesome.
Agreed. What people can do a lot more is it'll be a little bit easier once there's multiple mods, since I can only see so much. If we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 people, we will see a lot more. Plus report. If anything is, remotely sketchy, report it. And if I don't think it's a big deal, I'll ignore it. No harm. I hardly ever get anything reported to me. I could probably count on 2 hands how many things in a year that have been reported to me. I've probably deleted maybe half of them. So don't forget that.
Yeah, so there are some tools. It's not like you're impotent in the face of...
Right.
But at the same time, there's so many posts, and it's just worth, kind of, I guess the message is this group is awesome. Let's take ownership of how awesome the group it is, and let's not rely on a mod or Big Brother to keep it awesome. Let's just take it upon ourselves to keep things going the way they're going. Because I really loving this group. It does take a little bit of flack because it's like, how many pictures of unopened One Deck Dungeon boxes are we going to see?
I was just thinking about One Deck Dungeon right before you said that.
Which Chris Seslick, I hope he's listening. He's part of the group. We love your game, but man, that is a lot of pictures of One Deck Dungeon.
I made a joke the other day, I think Asmati Games should probably give me some stock options,
right?
Or the group or somebody. I mean, how much money do they owe to you guys?
Oh my, yeah, I know. And they're about to launch their Kickstarter, so
tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's going to be launching. Well, as we record, it's tomorrow. I bet once this goes up, the thing will be launched and funded, and there'll be pictures all over the group. and everything. So so the group isn't quite perfect. We could use a few less pictures of unopened boxes, but that's nitpicky stuff. I mean, I'm just saying that tongue in cheek. This group is awesome. Is there anything else we need to know about the groups before we wrap up the conversation?
Winter is coming memes for tomorrow. Because the posts are coming. Wait. That's right. This is gonna be available afterwards.
Yeah.
Never mind. Just kidding. You've already seen them by now.
Yeah. So hopefully it's already passed by the time this posts. Hopefully we get it up sometime this week or early next week or whatever it is. Cool, man. So thank you for giving us some insights into how the group works. This was really, really fun. Apologies if this was a little bit rough. Again, this was totally spontaneous, which is cool. I like spontaneous conversations, but I just wanted to kind of put it out there that it's not exactly the most polished product that we've ever done. But we figured out a way to not cuss the entire time.
I know, right?
Good job by us.
I was going to make a reference to Wheaton's rule. If you follow that, then the group will continue to be amazing.
Yes.
Found a loophole.
Yeah, go ahead and look up, maybe it's on Urban Dictionary or something, what Wheaton's rule is. We're not going to say it on this podcast because we are family friendly. We're trying to get on the Dice Tower Network. Darn it.
Right.
All right, Shawn, this was really cool.
Awesome.